line is cat. Shout out to Stunning Growth Music, and most importantly, Mars fam, shout out to y'all for tapping in. This video is Did Jim Jones Wrong Max B? Now it's reportedly that Max B is supposed to be coming home, I say next year. I'm not sure. I think French Montana said next year or something like that. But we ain't gonna talk too much without further ado. We're gonna get straight into the video.
In the building where the wave was invented. Downstairs, under me. Y'all call him Bigger Val Max B. I know him as Charlie Rambo. I'm from the building where the wave was invented.
If I'm ever here to last long enough for it to come out, I might go to China and blow and get 50,000 billion years, and y'all might never see Bigger Val again. Never. Like, it's that real.
Nah. We on the radio. We on the radio. Hold on.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I forgot that was your man, though. I'm the nigga. Me. I'm the new Biggie Smalls Tupac nigga. Me.
Yeah, that live is
On my
iconic.
shows, I cannot help it the way that they act.
Ride that wave.
So tell your friends,
What's up,
and they can
Edom?
tell the friends, and we could be friends. You come on with me.
Acapulco.
I got that bell. Oh no, that's Bigger Val. Somebody just get a hold of me.
Hey. Ow.
Charlie Wingate, born May 21st, 1978, better known as Max B. Let him tell it, he started the wave. So what diabolically wavy story would I have to spin for you to understand what Max B meant and means to hip-hop culture? The one of a witty, charismatic personality with a head-of-his-time approach to music that just didn't make it out soon enough. He had the talent, work ethic, and enough examples to finally take things serious and focus on the music, but you can't escape your past and the people it was spent with. Also, the story of how the lines between business and whatever else can cross and expose entire relationships. He made his mixtape debut in 2006 and later signed to Jim Jones's spin-off to Dipset, Bird Gang. He had his hand in producing one of the biggest songs of the early 2000s hip-hop with his contributions on Jones's hit single, We Fly High. Rest in peace, Stack Bundles, who's officially
peace, Stack Bundles,
credited
definitely.
as the writer for the record. In 2009, Max B was sentenced to 75 years in prison for conspiracy in an armed robbery turned homicide. Although he was not present, he was handed a mastermind role, which was confirmed by his ex-girlfriend who testified against him in court in exchange for a reduced plea. She's played a very important role in the wave being held at shore. After his incarceration, his stardom grew to a cult-like level, with fans new and old riding his biggest wave to date. Free Max B campaigns everywhere, and the word wavy added to the hip-hop adjective Hall of Fame, along with classics like dope, banger, and bougie. He's recently had his sentence reduced and is expected to be home sometime this year. But for now, here's what stunted the musical growth of the Silver Surfer himself. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man.
Soap opera ass.
I'm waiting for that.
Let me see me some more, man. I'm conceited. Let me see it. Yeah.
I'm from the building where the wave was invented.
Max Bigabelli was born and raised in Harlem, New York, right in the middle of what was called the crack era. His name is derived from a combination of his influences, Big, Jigga, and Machiavelli, aka Tupac. With his mother battling substance abuse, he was raised primarily by his grandparents. This wouldn't be enough for a growing, curious Max B with an imaginative personality and desire to live like the street hustlers he grew up seeing every day show off their toys. He figured he could use his known talents, writing and singing, and began to put them to use right before he was incarcerated for his first extended stay bid.
That's gonna too lit. New bucket full of stone.
Stunt number 1, Too Much Time Away.
We call him Baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be?
After what we did to the girl, Gina Conway? Oh my God. How's Frenchie say? Oh my God.
Max B grew up in a musical household as a child, so was used to hearing different genres of melodies. His first attempt at music was him singing in the Harlem Boys Choir before he met future rap star Cameron. In his mid-teens, he began running the streets as his only way to achieve his dream of what he calls being the waviest. Max B's luck legally couldn't have been any more entangled with his extreme desire to acquire money and his lack of knowledge on how to get it legally. Just before he turned 19, he was arrested in 1997 for armed robbery and sentenced to 8 years. He was released in 2005 and decided to use his connections to childhood friend Cameron and affiliates the Diplomats along with Stack Bundles to get on. With Cameron going through his hiatus from music stemming from beefs with 50 Cent and Jay-Z, and also his mother falling ill, he handed Max B to Jim Jones, who signed him in 2006 to his new branch.
Yeah, they said Jim Jones was holding back a lot of Max B's music. I don't know if that's true.
Teaming the two with Stack Bundles to create one of the most what-if trios in hip-hop history. That same year, Max B was arrested again for his involvement in a robbery that turned to the murder of David Taylor. His bail was set to reportedly $2 million, but unable to fund the release, he sat in jail for 10 months. Within this time, Jim Jones was becoming more and more of a popular rapper and making thousands in show appearances, performing usually his one-hit song that Max B and Stack Bundles is said to have written. A plan was made between he and Jim Jones, which we'll speak on very soon, and just like that, the Silver Surfer was back on the streets. This would last less than 2 years, as Max B was finally sentenced to 75 years after a long legal battle. He was just about to take off, in the midst of clearing his label situations and beginning work with legends in the game before he was incarcerated and set to miss enough time, if not to kill his career, at least on his growth.
Y'all niggas just stay tuned for what's about to go down in the game. Just stay tuned, keep your ear to the streets, stay focused. Cause y'all know I'm that wave, y'all know I'm the Silver Surfer.
Stunt number 2, Jim
definitely
Jones.
didn't kill his career.
You know, a lot of people took the perception as you was talking about Max on that record.
Why would they do that?
Because you said at the end, I shouldn't have bailed your bum ass out of jail.
We wouldn't have been in this shit if it wasn't for him. It always hurts when somebody bites the hand that feed them, but...
So could that situation be reconciled with you and him?
Like, niggas just blackball and I'm a jail nigga, like I did time. Like, niggas don't be wanting to fuck with me, dog.
Because, you know, y'all made incredible music together. For the love of the music.
Listen.
Let them know.
No.
I know there has to be
And
some
he probably
days
still feel that
Max
same
B
way.
regrets ever knowing Jim Jones.
He probably still feel that same way. I seen him recently on Queen's Flip podcast. Shout out to Queen's Flip, and he was just going around the questions, and Queen's Flip was, I think he was asking like why he don't just squash it, or like why he don't want to forgive or something like that.
Jones. Nothing against the hustler in Jim Jones, just the detrimental way he handled Max B from day one, according to multiple reports. We can sit and argue that based on research, Jim Jones may be the sole reason outside Max B that he's featured today. After being released from prison in 2005 and signing to Jim Jones in 2006, Max B, along with Stack Bundles, were basically playing the Jim Jones background on some, "Aight guys, let's come together and make me extremely hot first, then we'll do the same for you." That plot usually only works for the first guy, but for you, unless you're Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo, chances are slim. One reason things went bad was Jim Jones taking off with Ballin' and receiving reportedly $15,000 a show and paying Stack and Max B $300 each.
Damn.
Max grew disgruntled and later began distancing himself from Jim Jones and the group around 2008 following his release from prison. How'd he get out in the first place is why many close to the situation claim the beef between the two started, and gives you the clearest picture on the lines of friend Will Cross in business. Jim Jones agreed to bail Max B out of jail after letting him sit for almost a year, to the tune of 10% of $2 million. In return, he convinces Max B to sign over his publishing, including decisions made on Max's behalf, and collecting of all royalties and funds coming in under the Max B moniker.
Damn.
Later, Max B would claim he was tricked into signing, and during his release got personal with his disdain for Jones, alluding to Jones's girlfriend, who, quote, touched it in Miami.
She touched it in Miami. She touched it in Miami. She touched it in Miami.
Max was always dropping music here and there throughout all his ordeals, and he was highly favored as the next in line for New York, Harlem in particular. He started his own label, Gangrene, although all proceeds went through Jim Jones first, who was unwilling to negotiate further on terms of the signed contract. In 2009, while Jim Jones still had his legal foot on Max B, he was at the end of the road fighting his trial. Now, time for sentencing. Who knows what Max could have been had he been allowed to move freely, seeing as Jones allegedly began to blackball Max, telling artists and labels not to work with him or else.
I don't know, I think I'm too good for the game. Niggas might not be ready, niggas. I don't know what it is, B. I know I'm the hottest nigga out, and I ain't got no album. Yep, they blackballing me.
Stunt number 3, the company you keep.
That's why they fuck with me, man. These niggas ain't got no character. I got character. If you ain't got no character in this game, you ain't gonna win.
He received a 75-year sentence June 4th, 2009, after ex Gina Conway testified against him. She alleged the two, who had met before Conway moved from North Carolina to New York to be with Max B, and began stripping. She met a man named Alan Plowden and agreed to relations with him for financial favors and showers of gifts. She claims Max B knew about the excursions, and through Conway knew Plowden had money. She says Max B set up a plan for her and his stepbrother Kelvin Lardum to go to the Holiday Inn where Plowden was staying, thinking he wouldn't be there at the time and they could simply rob his room. They found the man there with a female and tied him up to a chair. Then searched the room, but when they didn't find enough cash, they pressed Plowden by threatening his life as he told them his friend David Taylor has all the money and that he was a few rooms down. They made him call David to the room, but as he entered and saw his friend tied up, he began tussling with Lardum and was shot dead.
Damn.
Conway and Lardum ran off and left behind $30,000 of cash they failed to find. Within a week, they were caught, along with Max B, because of Conway's allegations of it being him who planned it all. He was not there for the crime, nor did he receive any of the stolen goods from the botched robbery homicide. His stepbrother received a life plus 25-year sentence, and Max B 75. He took a plea bargain in 2016, reducing his sentence to 20 years. Then, in 2019, he had his sentence reduced again, based on his former lawyer owning pieces of his catalog, so presenting a conflict of interest in his case. He's scheduled to be released sometime this year. Jim Jones has voiced he has no plans to work with Max B.
Just when you integrity, you a bum-ass nigga. Like, you a bum-ass nigga, you just a bum-ass nigga. You like the nigga that peel gum off the bottom of tables and shit like that.
You ugly motherfucking bumpy face niggas. Oatmeal face ass niggas. You know who you are.
So the project that you had with him, are you?
Niggas just laughing like me, and all that shit, Big Val.
Did you ever have a project with Max?
Yeah.
That was a solo project of his.
It's there.
So what they gotta pay to get that from?
It's somewhere on the shelf.
All in all, Max B definitely had talent as a rapper, but he lacked the street skill and knowledge within the business of music,
still got
and
talent.
it got him in some unfavorable situations where he wasn't protected. Many argue that Max B has only been able to elevate in music because of his arrest and becoming this mythical hip-hop figure a la Big Meech or C Murder. But I think it was well deserved, as Max B would have fit in today's music perfectly and been possibly the creator of this new melodic sound.
That's why I said my favorite song from him was So Cold with A Boogie. He still could fit in.
Had he stayed out long enough. Great talent, sad he and Jim Jones had so many differences and the streets caught up to him. For these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and I'm out.
You gonna get like 3 million views in like 2 days. So whoever name I say on here gonna be wavy. I'm saying that's how hot I am.
Yeah.
Like niggas want that.
Man, free Max B. Shout out to Harlem. Y'all get in the comment section down below some Max B songs y'all rock with. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. Love is love, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.